エンゼルスから FA となり、去就が注目されている大谷翔平の移籍先、大本命とみられるドジャースのデーブ・ロバーツ監督が6日、MLB 球団の幹部や代理人らが一堂に会するウィンターミーティングで、大谷に関する爆弾発言をして波紋を呼んでいます。大谷の代理人を務めるネズバレロ氏は、これまで交渉球団に対して徹底した情報管理を厳命し続けてきました。FA 選手の交渉については、球団側は具体的に答えてはいけないという MLB の規約もあり、情報漏洩の場合は罰則するとも伝えられています。にもかかわらず、デーブ・ロバーツ監督は記者会見で自ら大谷の名前を出し、数日前にドジャースタジアムで大谷と面談したことを明かし、
うまくいったと思う。
と自信満々の表情でコメント。大谷との面談の事実を明かしたデーブ・ロバーツ監督の発言はすぐさま波紋を呼び、日米を含め世界中で話題となっていましたので、その問題となった記者会見の一部始終を日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
It's a good possibility. I think that, yeah, we met with him. You know, I don't want to. I'd like to be honest, and so we met with Shohei and we talked, and I think it went well. But at the end of the day, he's his own man, and he's going to do what's best for himself, where he feels most comfortable. We met in Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium a couple days ago. I don't know if it was more of a pitch. I think it was more of just sort of getting more familiar with him. I think that he had questions for us, just trying to get more of the landscape. But being in this league for 6 years, he's got a pretty good idea of the Dodgers, what we're about, the city itself. And so for me, and speaking for our guys, it was just a pleasure to get to spend some time with him. I think in 17, I think it was more of an overview, and you're selling more of a sell on things that he didn't really know about: the country, the city, the organization, potential role. And I think that in this situation, not trying to speak for him, but it's a little bit more narrowed on what his desires are as far as teams. And I don't think the sell needed to be as large. I think he was more of just kind of trying to feel what everyday life would look like. There's no hiding of the ball. It's just kind of, here we are, and we really, hope he feels it's a fit.
また、この会見の約1時間後には、ドジャースのブランドン・ゴームズ GM が顔を曇らせて取材対応を行っています。GM は、
ロバーツ監督の発言には非常に驚いている。ロバーツが語ったことにはコメントできない。何らかのルールに違反しているかどうかは言いたくない。
と話していました。さらに地元メディアもこの話題を一斉に取り上げ、ワシントン・ポスト紙は、
正直に話すことでロバーツ監督は大谷の FA 争奪戦の熱狂に拍車をかけた。
との見出しを取り、この問題を報道。
大谷に関して言えば、率直さはスキャンダルとして見なされる。ドジャースと彼らの監督は今、彼の行いがどのような報いとなるのかを待ちながら思慮することになるだろ
う。と、マイナスの影響を及ぼす可能性があることを示唆していました。一方でドジャースの地元紙であるロサンゼルス・タイムズ紙は、
ロバーツ監督は何もリークしなかった。彼は絶対に誰もが驚かない事実について発言しただけだ。大谷の代理人からどんな脅しをほのめかされたとしても、ロバーツ監督は交渉を難航させる可能性のあるようなことは何も言わなかった。
と、何ら問題がなかったことを強調していました。ロバーツ監督の発言はリーグ規約に反するのか、バレロ代理人は情報を明かしたことをどう捉えるのか。大谷争奪戦で本命と評価されてきたドジャースに初めての逆風が吹く可能性は否めません。一方で、メジャーリーグベースボールのインサイダー、ボブ・ナイチンゲール氏は、米ポッドキャスト番組、ファウルテリトリーに出演し、極秘交渉を貫く大谷について、
ビジネスとしてはうまいやり方だ。
と評価していましたので、日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
Bob, you've been covering this industry for a while. Have you ever seen anything like this? I'm not talking about the player on the field, but the free agent process that Ohtani has gone through and how mysterious it is and how they've kept everything so closed up. For example, last year, Judge is the big free agent, and many people made the case that, he goes to San Francisco. There's that like kind of awkward video that I think was staged so that it showed that, hey, San Francisco's real, Yankees, you better pay a little bit more. And it worked out for him. Ohtani's like the opposite. No one knows anything. No one knows bids. So have you ever seen anything like this? And do you think it's working? Because it seems like from his camp's perspective, if they don't talk much about him and don't put anything out there, then someone like him that we're looking at won't be covered and he won't have to deal with as much publicly. I think there's been actually more intrigue and talk because no one knows anything. And so people just guess and throw random shit out there.
Oh, I agree. I do think it's working. People say people throwing darts out there and guessing at different things. Nobody knows what he's thinking. He was spotted in San Francisco the other day. That was probably the first, news nugget we've seen. But he doesn't need to drum up interest. I mean, how many times you see, agents leaking out, hey, just met with this team, that team. Used to be, hey, you travel to different cities and make sure the media knows about it because everybody wants him. He doesn't need to drum up interest. So I think it's working, and it works perfect for his personality because this guy is just, almost like a recluse. He does not want to be, around a lot of people. He doesn't want anybody to know his business.
また、MLB ネットワークの番組にジョン・モロシ氏が出演し、大谷の移籍候補としてブレーブスが急浮上している理由についてコメントしていましたので、日本語字幕付きでご紹介していきます。
About 8 months ago, we thought we were projecting out, 600, 700, 800 million. And those conversations changed maybe after the injury, but we keep hearing there's multiple offers worth over $500 million. Where do we stand right now?
Ohtani, I'm not familiar with him, Lauren. I've not yet heard of this outstanding player, but yes, clearly Shohei Ohtani, the talk of these winter meetings. I was told in the last 24 hours, Lauren, it's increasingly possible he will make his choice within the next week. And one team that I think we have not been giving enough attention to in all of this, the Atlanta Braves.
Really?
And Shohei, in looking at his options, he has prioritized teams that have a chance to win sustainably. That's why the Dodgers, we've talked about them so much. But you look at this resume, the one thing that this resume does not include, postseason baseball in the major leagues. And the Braves, I'm told, have had some conversations with Ohtani's camp that the Braves have not been eliminated from this conversation. So at the very least, the Braves have, I think, Lauren, as good of a chance as the Cubs or the Blue Jays or many other of the non-Dodgers teams we've talked about this offseason.
So it's a chance to win consistently at the top of the list, because you and I have had conversations, and geography used to be top.
Right.
Or was that a made-up narrative?
Geography was part of the conversation,
Okay.
I'm sure, Lauren, to some extent. But with Shohei Ohtani now, he's spent 6 years traveling around the U.S., North America, getting used to the culture of baseball in the major leagues. He's good now. He's adjusted. He's a global star. He can travel. He can travel anywhere. That brand, Lauren, will travel anywhere that you want to go for Shohei Ohtani. And when you look at the Atlanta Braves, the chance to win sustainably, the way in which that core is locked up for the long term, Olsen, Albies, and oh, by the way, the reigning NL MVP, Ronald Acuna Jr. So the pieces are in place. They just added Jared Kelenic. We heard Harold break down that trade a little bit earlier, Lauren. I still think in so many ways the Braves are a team that we cannot overlook in the Ohtani sweepstakes.
Set to pitch in 2025. What?
これからも大谷の活躍から目が離せません。皆様からのコメントもお待ちしております。